Bugatti said that Brandon Pavlina didn't show up. What the hell?
For what? For what game?
Highland EC.
Where at?
At Crown Point.
Well, maybe he's here. He's watching the Noll game. He's a good dude, Josh. He's a good dude.
Yep, let's do it. Here from Lake Station Edison, Tuesday night, February 26th of 2019, we start Indiana High School Athletic Association Boys Basketball Sectionals here in 2019. And it's a good one from Lake Station Edison to get things going. Rivalry game here tonight, powered by NIPSCO, sponsored by the Diocese of Gary and Bishop Donald Hying. Ryan Walsh, joined by Dan Ripe. Our camera staff tonight is Josh Beaudry, Robert Aguirre, and our video director here is Jimmy Mullaney. Dan, this team, this was right in here on our side. A lot of Bishop Noll fans. They're here. Looking out that far side, we see a lot of Andrean fans. Both sides have brought their big crowd here tonight. They were still filing in. They didn't open the doors until about half an hour, 45 minutes ago here at Lake Station, so fans still getting out here. Epic one, I think we're going to see tonight.
I mean, if for no other reason, I mean, this is an exciting day just because it's the first day of this sectional and the only game at this sectional. And then what you have is you have two rivalries in Catholic League, and then it's some people say that one of these teams has potential to win it all out of this sectional. And
last season, this was the sectional championship game, if you want to call it a game, because it was more like an exhibition for Andrean. They pounded Bishop Noll early, middle of the game, and at the end of the game. It was a 75-52. They did not let up at the end of the game. Just a demolishing of Bishop Noll. This game in the regular season went to Andrean. It was at Bishop Noll. It was a 62-57 win. Just a couple weeks ago, January 26th, actually a month ago from today, is when the game was. And it was Andrean winning at Bishop Noll. So the Bishop Noll squad, led by Brandon Scott out on the floor, their leading scorer, you got to think they are more than motivated after the humiliation last year in the sectional championship and then losing on their home floor a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, no need for motivation for Bishop Noll. If you remember that game, Bishop Noll trotted out their soccer team that just got done winning the state championship. They're always trying to one-up each other. There's already that not hate or ill will, but just they want to show each other that they're better. And I will tell you that if Bishop Noll can come out to a decent start, Andrean has struggled here as of late here with a couple games. They got their doors blown off against Munster, so they're a little vulnerable. It's sectional. There's a little bit of extra tension because it's your Catholic rival.
It is sectionals, and I want to say thanks to some of our premier level sponsors for bringing you sectionals basketball on your smart TVs for Amazon, Apple, and Roku. Also on WJBNetwork.com for your phone or your internet browser on your computer, and also on WJB Radio, AM 1230, FM 104.7, and the TuneIn app. Community Healthcare Systems, Bridges Scoreboard Restaurant in Griffith, Bricklayers Local 4, Streck and Van Til, Walls Construction, Certified Electrician, Yaney Law, Carpenter's Local 599, and Smith Surgical Attorneys at Law. wonderful sponsors. Many of these businesses have been with us all season long, and we appreciate that. We wouldn't be able to get out and cover all these local athletes the next couple of weeks here all across Indiana and hopefully all the way down to Indianapolis for a state finals game that would be just on the radio. But we couldn't do it without all of these fantastic sponsors. And Dan, let's start with Andrean. As you mentioned, got the doors blown off by Munster a couple weeks ago. We talked to some fans before the game. They had a big lead on Westside. Then Westside went to a press, and then they got scared a little bit.
And that's very similar to what Munster does well. That Munster picks up well at the half court, traps, and can really put a lot of pressure. So, can Bishop Noll do that? Bishop Noll is a little bit smaller. They're definitely as athletic. Last game we did with Bishop Noll against East Chicago Central, they were without Morgan Grant. See that he's now back out there, which is a bonus for Bishop Noll. But on a neutral site, I think you're going to need to see Kyle Ross for Andrean, and certainly Carruthers, who's had 3 years of varsity experience, step up, especially because of the fact that it's sectional, because there's that extra pressure. It's like I said, and I'll repeat it 1,000 times, there was enough pressure with Bishop Noll Andrean. There's always that added feeling of wanting to get at it, but now you've got sectionals. This place is starting to fill up even more now, and they both want it, and so you just have to make sure you stay within yourself when you play the basketball game.
We'll be tipping you off in a few minutes here. We want to get you a little bit of information on the coaches. Here, Bradley Stangl, 49-23 in his third year as the Andrean head coach. They went to the regionals last year, had a tough-fought game that they went down in the regional final. As we mentioned, Bishop Noll last season lost in the sectional final, was blown out by the Andrean 59ers. They're going to get another chance here earlier on in the sectional than last year. They're led by Coach Josh Belwamini, 86-63 in his sixth year as the Bishop Noll head coach. Really looking forward to this one. I know that this is maybe one that you would have liked to have seen later on in the bracket. And looking at the bracket, Dan, it's Bishop Noll and Andrean tonight. Tomorrow night, 2 games here, 6 o'clock and 7:30-ish. Bowman Academy will play River Forest at 6 o'clock. And then Whiting and Roosevelt will play each other about 20 to 25 minutes after that first game is over. So 2 good matchups in that sectional here tomorrow night from Lake Station. And Bowman Academy, they're back. They had a little bit of an issue with sportsmanship and academics.
A little hiatus.
Yeah, so they were off and out of the bracket for a couple of years. So they are back in the draw for 2A boys basketball this year. So it just adds to a already loaded field with Lake Station in it, Andrean, Bishop Noll, Whiting. Roosevelt's having a little bit of a down year, but
now Whiting's charging now strong. They've won the last 8 games in a row, so you got to watch them coming out of the bottom of the bracket.
All right, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back after they play the national anthem. We'll get to the starting lineups and then the Carpenters local 599 tip-off here in the Certified Electrician broadcast booth. It's Ryan Wallace, Dan Ripe, Tuesday night, February 26th of 2019. Powered by NIPSCO, high school boys basketball sectionals, Bishop Noll and Andrean coming up. Don't go anywhere.
We pray and serve.
We teach and learn.
We love and give as disciples of Jesus Christ.
The goal of education in the Catholic Diocese of Gary is to help us understand and explore our faith.
We are provided with the foundation to grow, ask questions, and learn in a supportive environment.
Our student-focused faculty and staff provides a rigorous curriculum that challenges us to be great.
We are surrounded by people who care, in and out of the classroom.
It starts with us.
We are the future.
To learn more about Catholic education in our diocese, visit dcgary.org.
On Vapo men's basketball at their final home game at the Athletics Recreation Center this season by attending their game on Saturday, March 2nd against Evansville at 1 p.m. For ticket information, call the box office at 219-464-5233 or visit vapoathletics.com. Vapo, proud to be the region's Division I team.
Scoreboard Restaurant is a family-friendly restaurant located at 121 North Griffith Boulevard in Griffith. Stop in for our award-winning chicken wings, pizza, Italian beef sandwiches, lake perch, hamburgers, and more. Entertaining a big group? We will quickly accommodate large reservations without much notice. Bridges Scoreboard has 28 big-screen TVs, so you won't miss any of the games. Enjoy corned beef dinners and sandwiches to celebrate St. Patrick's Day on March 16th and 17th, while Pipes of Orac entertain from 5 to 6 p.m. For more information, call Jeff or Scott Bridges at 219 609-924-2206.
Hey, look, this breakfast, it's coming out great. This place, it's jumping. This emergency, our cue to take action. And our future, solid and sustainable. So, whether or not you can see it, we're proud to say it. NIPSCO was here.
It's easy to feel a sense of gratitude here in Indiana because there is a whole lot to be grateful for. Family and friends and enough calmness around you to really appreciate the simple things. I really just try to show gratitude by doing my part, working hard, being friendly and kind. I feel really lucky to live here.
The values that built Indiana are here in Strachan Van Til. We're Indiana's grocery store, and we're proud to be Indiana made.
Ryan Walsh, Dan Repay back in the Certified Electrician broadcast booth Tuesday night, February 26th of 2019. High school boys basketball sectionals. Andrean wearing the away red with gold tonight. And Bishop Noll will be wearing the home white jerseys with some blue and gold as well.
I messed up my broadcast partner here. I wrote him on the opposite sides, but I had already started, and since I didn't write it in pencil, I had no way of going back, Ryan.
No,
I apologize.
All right. Hey, I'm left-handed, so I put the home team on the left, and I put the away team on my right. 13-9, Bishop Noll. 14-8, Andrean 59ers.
And we didn't mention, we actually have a little bit of a even internal issue, not issue, but with John Reardon, who used to play for Andrean last year, transferred to Bishop Noll. So you even have that little factor put into this whole little rivalry.
Starting five for Andrean, led by Coach Bradley Stengel. Number 4, John Carruthers. Number 11, Benjamin Jones. 22, Deshaun Burnett. 23, Matthew Lolito. And 24, Kyle Ross. Let's go some seats here up in the upper deck across the way, but the lower bowls on both sides are just about all the way packed here at Lake Station Edison High School here on the opening night across the state of Indiana. We welcome everybody watching on ihsaatv.org, Amazon, Apple, and Roku on your smart TVs, and on WJOBnetwork.com. We're on many platforms.
And it was a lot of my friends from across the state of Indiana now are watching it. The ones that I went to school with at Ball State, they word got out, you must have tagged me in something, and so now they're giving me a critique after the game, which is great. You know, we also look around this gymnasium here, and we see the head coach Aaron Mercer there for the Whiting, looking at possible future opponents here. You know, at this point, though, both teams, a lot of these teams have tape on each other, have seen each other, more than likely played against each other. And so at this point, it's just a matter of see if there's any other new wrinkles that were put into their offense or their defense.
Starting five for Bishop Noll, as they just finished up the starting five over the PA system here for Andrean. This place is loud. This is a booming system here at Lake Station Edison High School. Starting five for Bishop Noll will be number 5, Brandon Scott, 10, Morgan Grant, 20, Hunter Lorencic, 22, Antonio De Crescenzo, and 23, John Reardon. And, of course, Bishop Noll is coached by Josh Bawamini. Tonight's game is sponsored by the Diocese of Gary. There are 20 schools in Northwest Indiana, 17 grade schools, and 3 high schools. Visit the Diocese's newly improved schools page at dcgary.org and click schools for more information about any of our schools.
Well, and I'm going to tell you, for Bishop Noll, we talked about Carruthers and Ross, and for Bishop Noll, we all know that Brandon Scott's going to get his points no matter what. He can be shooting terrible. We've seen him shoot terrible, throw away the ball, but he'll always end up with 24, 25 points. It's just a matter of who from Bishop Noll will step up. If they don't, they're in for a long night. But if someone steps up, say like a John Reardon or a Hunter Lorencic, you know, Morgan Grant came off of an injury late in the season. Is he 100%? And if so, you know, we could have a really good ball game here.
Andrean on the right side, Bishop Noll on the left side. It'll be Bishop Noll going left to right, and Andrean right to left to start this one up. And we're up on the upper deck here on the south side of the building, and we're standing up. We got some banners blocking our way.
Well, it keeps us active, and certainly the PA announcer, the formidable Tommy Williams, is very active on the microphone.
Kyle Ross for Andrean. Morgan Grant for Bishop Noll. We are set for action. Sectionals are underway here from Lake Station. Tip goes to Andrean. Brothers will start it up. Now to Burnett. Lolito had a little bit of space, but he goes underneath to Carruthers. Reverse layup. Missed it. Rebounded by Morgan Grant, keeping himself. He was going right behind Carruthers. Carruthers didn't look back to see where he's at, and contact, no foul called, and now Andrean's playing 5-on-4. Ross pull up three off the back rim. Rebounded by DeCrescenzo of Bishop Noll. Quick start for both teams, Dan.
And I know Coach Stengel likes to see Ross get involved. He makes him multifaceted, but if I'm Bishop Noll, I'll take my chances with him shooting from three out there on the break.
Andrean extending high pressure. They go in low down to Morgan Grant. Puts it on the floor. Tries a bank shot, gets it to go, and Bishop Noll is on the board first.
And that was pretty easy for Bishop Noll to get it down low. Bishop Noll going man-to-man.
Down the lane, cutting Lolito. He squares up off the glass and makes it. Ties the game up at 2 apiece.
And one of the big things about Bishop Noll, they need to tighten up. They need to help on the help side defense. Otherwise, those gaps are available to all offenses.
Early on, the offense going through Morgan Grant. Lost the ball. Nice play by Reardon.
And Bishop Noll just going to be patient, set it up.
Reardon down the lane. 59ers could not stop John Reardon, their former teammate.
You'd have thought they would have seen that move before. Sort of surprised that Bishop Noll doesn't go to his zone to take out the big man down low.
Carruthers gets by Reardon, missed the shot, put back, no, but Carruthers was fouled on the arm, and who will the foul be called on?
That's going to be on Reardon, I believe. They're going to get it on Reardon.
No, they're going to say it was on Antonio DeCrescenzo.
Oh, all right.
22. There was Scott, Reardon, and DeCrescenzo down there low.
You had options, definitely.
6:10 on the clock in the first quarter. First time at the line for either team. Good stroke right there at the line from Carruthers.
Carruthers has the experience with this. Like to thank our sponsors, Carpenters Local 599, CSK Architects, Float 60 Northwest Indiana, Hammond Machine Works, Iron Workers 395, and Labor's Local 41.
Carruthers takes advantage of that trip to the line, makes both free throws. We're tied again at 4 all this time.
Carruthers has much experience here. Not a problem to hit the free throws, and the free throws are an important part of this matchup.
Grant reverse layup, gets right by Lolito. Good start for Morgan Grant, 2 for 3 from the field.
Looks like Andrean looks a step behind on defense.
Ross is going to try banging down another 3. This time it's halfway down the cup, and he comes back out. Reardon tripped up in the lane. Oh, they say travel first before the trip.
Mr. Samano there with the whistle says, nope, you travel before you got hacked.
Matt Lolito will go to the bench for Andrean. He was beaten a couple times by Morgan Grant. In comes Nicholas Flesher wearing 32 on the far side of the floor. Has a full black rep on the left leg. Gets the ball right now for the first time. High pass across the way to Jones. Jones right back. Flesher was bumped. They're going to say ball first by Brandon Scott on that block.
So far, referees letting them play. And then, as long as it's consistent, I think all the teams will adapt to that. Just one foul called so far.
Lorenzig, one-handed float shot off the front iron, rebounded by Ross. No problem there for Ross, the tallest player in the lane for either team.
I think Ross caused some distraction on that one.
Jones open 3 in front of the Noll bench. Off the mark, rebounded by Deshaun Burnett. Offensive board, and then Carruthers gets a pass and a score.
And Bishop Noll just took the fake. Carruthers just drove to the basket for the 2.
Almost halfway through the first quarter of this IHSAA 2019 sectional opener from Lake Station.
Possible double dribble there by Scott.
Ref says on that far side of the floor it was tipped. So we get the pass on that one.
I believe him.
Scott's going to go down the lane, slide step. He will be called for a travel, and it's a turnover on Bishop Noll.
So that's 3 turnovers for Bishop Noll, 2 on traveling and 1 on an errant pass.
Out of the game, Benjamin Jones for Andrean, and in comes number 5, Eric Goods, for the first time this evening.
I think everyone's trying to just catch their breath here. Andrean 0 for the three-point line. Bishop Noll has yet to take a three-point.
Brothers crossing the timeline. Waiting for him is Morgan Grant. Flashing open for a 3. Flesher off the front rim. Scott didn't go for it hard initially. Bobbled it, and there was a battle on the far side of the floor between 22 and 22. It was Bishop Noll's 22, Dave Crescenzo, winning the ball, and Burnett was a step late, and he's called for a foul.
He got called for the little shove there. Looks like Andrean wants to pick up full court.
Now they backed out. They're going to send Deshaun Burnett to the bench, and back in comes Benjamin Jones wearing number 11 to net for Andrean.
Hunter Lorencic running the point here. Everything, like you said, was going through Morgan Grant.
Right there again, he's got 2 defenders with him. Goes back out to Brandon Scott. Quick release. Buries the Strachan Van Til three-pointer, Brandon Scott.
I tell you, he has the quickest release I've seen in high school.
Now Scott is called for a 2-shot foul as he bumped Carruthers going into the basket, going up for the basket.
And Carruthers is just going to make it a night of himself here on the free throw line. Taking it to him, get the foul, and he's a pretty good free throw shooter.
Carruthers at the line, takes his first and makes his first.
We need to also thank Matt Maloney, Realtor, Napleton River Oaks Honda, People's Bank, Purdue Northwest, and Rush Radio Surgery Chicago.
This one is off the mark. Bishop Noll by 2. Here comes Brandon Scott. Lorencic picked up the dribble, goes to Grant.
A lot of hands there.
Now Scott in the middle of the lane, over a couple of defenders, missed a shot, rebounded by Ross for Andrean.
See what Ross does if he gets down low, post up against Morgan Grant.
Carruthers separates himself from Reardon, makes the basket. 6 points for John Carruthers, and we're tied up again, this time at 9. Noll in the half-court set. Good save by Morgan Grant. The pass was wide of him by Lorencic. Two-three zone. Now they get to Grant on the baseline. Over Carruthers. Offensive foul.
Ooh. You know what? They haven't called that. Let's see if we got that on replay. He was parked, but looks like a no call.
Local 4. Yeah, that's tough. That could have gone either way. Not sure if the feet were fully set there. Thanks to Jimmy Mulaney for that Bricklayers Local 4 instant replay. Fouls on Morgan Grant, his first of the game. Aaron Chance, 21, will come in for Bishop Noll. For Morgan Grant, you don't want to get Grant in foul trouble early on. He was playing well and don't want to let that slip away throughout the night.
And he probably could use some breather after being injured, try to work himself into this game.
Here's a travel called here on Andrean.
That's going to be on Kendrick for Andrean. We've got a check in here for Bishop Noll that doesn't have the correct number, at least.
Aaron Chance. Now they come to Reardon near side. Scott had some space for the 3. Missed it, but gets his own board. Back up and in.
You know, he immediately knew that he missed that, went right after the offensive rebound and went right up for it.
Just over a minute and a half to go in the first quarter. Carruthers, head fake, double head fake. He knows that Scott has one foul, so he's going to play loose. Carruthers goes to the rack and reverses it up and in. 8 points now for John Carruthers.
It's Carruthers against Bishop Noll because not many others have scored. Well, that's a travel. Got a little bit ahead of himself. Aaron Chance did.
Number 2, Damian Cundiff will come into the game for Benjamin Jones. And Eric Kendrick went out of the game for Andrean. Back in comes Kyle Ross.
I'll tell you got to watch for Carruthers here. No one else has seemed to have gotten in the flow. He certainly has gotten it.
Now they go to Ross on the right block. Puts up a shot over a couple of defenders. Whip for the glass. It's open. 13-11. Andrean.
And if Ross starts on fire, then Bishop Noll's got a little bit of issues with both Carruthers and Ross.
He had a big game against Bishop Noll in that sectional final last year. He was hitting threes.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, he was hitting threes
from way behind the line
all day. Could be a 5-second call.
Scott's going to go to the basket, layup every part of the rim, and goes in because he is a shooter. Great Scott.
Let's see if Bishop Noll, Andrean with just over 20 seconds left goes for one. They seem to be pulling it out. I'd have to think something goes to Ross or Carruthers. It just seems like it's been what they do.
Coach Stengel out. Pass to LS on the floor near his bench. They're passing around the perimeter. Open three off the mark. One last heave for Reardon. Nope. Shot will not count if it goes in for Brandon Scott. That will be the end of the first quarter here. Basketball powered by NIPSCO, 13-all. Boys basketball sectionals on WJOB.
Is your house too cold and costing you a fortune? You lose over 60% of your heat through your walls and attic. You need USA insulation. They start by installing USA premium foam into your walls from the outside. It fills up your wall cavity and keeps your heat inside. USA can even install over existing insulation. And they finish by adding attic insulation. And in just one day, your home is now warm. Stop freezing and start saving.
USA Insulation.
Laborers Local 41, together with Indiana Laborers Training Center and our signatory employers, provide state-of-the-art instruction in all areas of the construction industry, from hazardous material handling and environmental remediation to road construction and highway safety. Remember to slow down in construction zones and that the Local 41 members working there are mothers, fathers, coaches, and mentors. Laborers Local 41. We build Indiana in more ways than one.
Ryan Wallace, Dan Repay from Lake Station Edison High School. Thanks for all of you joining us now on WJOB AM 1230 FM 104.7. We're in the Certified Electrician Broadcast booth, 13-all here tonight from Lake Station. Andrean and Bishop Noll. It'll be Bishop Noll ball going left to right on your radio dial. Basketball powered by NIPSCO, and we have a good one going on so far, Dan.
Absolutely, and we have a little bit of cold shooting for Andrean, but a lot of motion, a lot of changing on the defensive side, which is good basketball.
Double fake from Grant goes up, bumped by Lolito. Lolito had trouble staying with Grant, and Coach Stengel took him out for a moment and gave him some coaching on the bench.
I think he's just one step too slow when it comes to that, and we saw it on the defense on the first quarter. I don't know if coaching is going to help that situation.
Morgan Grant goes to the free throw line right side. First one on the way, up and good. Grant's got 5 points. As Dan mentioned in the pregame show, Grant missed a couple of games down the stretch of the regular season, had a lower leg injury that Coach Balwamini held him out for precautions for the postseason.
And this, they already had it. He's a senior. He gets it.
That was a beautiful form right there for Morgan Grant from the free throw line right side. Hits them both. 15-13 Bishop Noll.
And free throw shooting is something that Bishop Noll has struggled with the last couple times we've been doing sectionals together.
Andrean drives. Shot was about 10 feet out and missed by Benjamin Jones. Here goes Brandon Scott forcing it. Backpedaling defender it's going to be a defensive foul every time.
And no one committed to the ball on Andrean. If you see if the replay, we run the replay, no one committed to the ball. Someone's got to always commit to the ball, and he just drove right through him.
I mean, that's just a senior play right there by Brandon Scott. He looked down briefly, saw the feet were treading, and he misses his first free throw. He has one more at the line.
And and you just have to, if on a defensive side, you have to commit to the ball. Someone's got to take the ball, and someone will take the wing. But if no one takes the ball, generally the person with the ball will drive right through and take advantage of it.
And Scott doesn't take advantage of the trip to the free throw line. He missed them both.
And that's something that you can't do if you're Bishop Noll, especially as the underdog.
Now it's Andrean back with it. We're almost a minute into the second quarter. Here's a nice drive, but the shot was missed by Nicholas Flesher. It went off the board, and then it went off of Morgan Grant, who was standing out of bounds on the lettering behind the basket that says Eagles.
Nothing you can do about that.
Wrong place, wrong time, right?
Yep.
6:58 on the clock as Andrean inbounds it. For all of you wondering, listening on the radio, Andrean wearing the away red jerseys, gold numbering and lettering, white trim around the waistbands. Andrean home white, or Bishop Noll home white jerseys. Here's a jumper 12 feet out, pure from Benjamin Jones.
That's Jones's first bucket. Someone else needs to start to get involved if you're Andrean to feel a little bit more comfortable. So far it's Carruthers, a little bit of Ross.
4-point turnaround right there after Bishop Noll missed the free throws last time at the line, both of them by Brandon Scott.
And how many games have we done over the years? Free throws come back and bite you.
Aaron Chance might have walked.
Aaron,
no call.
He needs to slow down a little bit. Little bit of nerves. You can tell his body's going 100 miles an hour.
Right in front of the Andrean bench, Brandon Scott calls for a screen, gets one from Aaron Chance, allows Scott to go down the lane, spinning move, missed the shot, gets his own board, one-handed board through 59ers.
You can't be happy if you're Coach Stengel with that. That's his second or third offensive rebound.
Here's Troy Cree, right lane, goes back out to Aaron Chance, high-arcing shot, missed it, gets his own board, puts it up again, this time off the window and in.
And maybe that'll settle his heart rate down a little bit.
17-15, Bishop Noll right back. Lolito missed two chances at the basket, rebounded by Troy Cree across the timeline, 5:25 to go. Open three, left side. Lorencic forced it up there too quickly off the left rim and into the hands of a couple of 59ers.
He had the shot. He's a good three-point shooter.
Flesher, fake, then a shot, missed it, but put up on the offensive glass by Kyle Ross. We got a quick stoppage on the floor. We had a referee that needs to tie his shoe.
Kyle Ross playing much older than his sophomore designation. He's tough down there, and when you're down there against Aaron Chance, he gives up about 6 inches, and he tried to block him out. Kyle Ross just too big.
Brief timeout on the floor brought to you by Yaney Law, attorney Scott Yaney, YaneyLawPC.com. Referee just had to tie up a sneaker. We're tied up at 17 apiece. Now we're under 5 to go as Bishop Noll marches left to right. Here's a pass from Grant. He threw it away. There was 359ers that did not capture the ball, though, and John Reardon takes advantage of it, slides down the lane, and lays off the window.
And Andrean has had several chances to get the ball. It just doesn't seem like they're winning the 50-50s here.
Carruthers smothered in the right corner by Cree. Throws it out back to center court. Almost a backcourt violation. Good save by Benjamin Jones.
And if you're Coach Bellamini, I'd put a lot of pressure on Carruthers and Ross. Make out the others beat you.
Carruthers trying to get away from Reardon. Reardon stayed right with them in the grill.
Reardon's probably matched up against him over the years. Bishop Noll doing a good job switching on defense. No shot clock. So
now Carruthers wide open for a three. Misses the shot, rebounded by Cree. Bishop Noll's got numbers. 5 on 3. But they pull back briefly. Lorencic open three, right side. This one rattles in right from in front of the Andrean bench. A Strachan Van Til three-pointer. Noll by 5. Timeout taken here by Coach Stengel. 30 seconds. We'll be back. Basketball powered by NIPSCO on WJOB. Timeout by Yaney Law.
CSK Architects has been in business for over 58 years and owned by Tom Kuhn, who is a lifelong resident of Northwest Indiana. CSK Architects is proud to continue to serve our clients and community, providing quality, straightforward commercial architectural services in the Calumet region and beyond. Significant recent projects include the Wolf Lake Pavilion, Lake County Public Libraries, addition and renovations to the Hammond YMCA, and the Lowell High School Trades Building. Call 322-5950 or visit cskarchitects.com.
Let's take a look at that three here for all of you watching on WJBNetwork.com. A couple of passes. Noll fake going in the zone, and then they go back out right corner three by Larentic in front of the Andrean bench. 22-17. Timeout taken by Coach Stengel immediately here. That was brought to you by Yaney Law. We're halfway through the second quarter of this sectional opener from Class 2A, Lake Station Edison, the host site. Ross goes right down the lane, hook shot.
And that didn't take long to get down to him. That was just in the timeout. You're going to get it to Ross and put it to him, and I bet you see that a lot more. No one big enough to stop him.
Reardon goes to Larentic again, same spot. Can he do it again? Nope, off the back iron this time into the hands of Kyle Ross.
Shooters shoot, got to keep shooting.
Greller's up the floor, free throw line left side, missed the shot, misjudged by Larentic on the rebound, tipped it into the hands of Benjamin Jones of Andrean. In the half-court set, screen and roll out on top. Jones gets it to Flesher. Might have been a carry.
It sounded like a carry.
Hit the side of the backboard on a fadeaway shot. And now here goes Morgan Grant by everybody. Hit on the head from behind. Count the basket.
And you can't do that. We talked about it earlier. You got to stop the ball or take the charge. You can't do the old lay defense and then smack him on top of the head. Morgan Grant, as a senior, knows so much better to do that. Go up strong. Let's see. They're going to take out, is that 32 is Flesher's coming out of the ball game. And for Andrean, Cundiff is in.
Hurt the line right side. Morgan Grant has one at the line. Front rim to the back rim and a soft drip into the hole. 25-19. Bishop Noll, their largest lead of the night.
And I'm going to be surprised if they don't work that same play that they did off the timeout. Work it down to Kyle Ross. Put him into the basket within 5 to 10 feet. Bishop Noll doing a good job on the switches.
Out on top, Eric Goods, 5. Goes to the near side, Damian Cundiff. Bishop Noll trying to keep the ball away from Kyle Ross. He was in the lane, but now he's out on the perimeter. Here's a tip pass by Morgan Grant to Brandon Scott. Brandon Scott trying to go hard to the basket. Foul on the floor. Again, Andrean defenders against Brandon Scott. He's putting in an overdrive, and they're backpedaling. They're going to get called for that all night long.
And if you on the defensive, on the offensive side, Kyle Ross doesn't seem like he's as active. He was 30 feet away from the ball. You've got to go to the ball and get the ball, demand the ball. You're the man.
2:10 on the clock in the first half. A couple of subs out for Andrean, Cundiff, and Goods. Back in comes Lolito. Look at that by Morgan Grant. He just didn't finish, but he put it on the floor briefly. Goes back up with it. This time it doesn't go again, but he was fouled. You got to go straight up with that right away.
And Lolito, once again, just doesn't seem like maybe there's something bothering him that we're not aware of. Certainly we're not privy to injury reports, but it was a simple offensive rebound. He didn't even really go after it.
Smart play there by Grant. He was sliding a little bit, put the ball on the floor. Usually you just go right up as a big man, but he was trying to avoid being called for a travel. Hits his first free throw, Morgan Grant. He has 9 on the game.
And certainly he doesn't want to pick up his second foul either, so we'd like to thank some more sponsors of ours: Bridges Scoreboard, Community Healthcare System, NIPSCO, Bricklayers 4, Strachan Van Til, Walsh Construction, Certified Electrician, Yaney Law, and Smith Sursick, Attorney at Law.
Morgan Grant blazing the net at the line tonight. He's got 10 on the game, 27-19.
Maybe that rest has done him a little bit of good. Maybe he just had some fatigue.
Bishop Noll up by 8, playing defense now. We're under 2 to go in the first half. We'll have the Smith Sursick Attorneys at Law halftime show coming up at the break here from Lake Station. See Coach Mercer from Whiting watching tonight. Intense watching in the front row across the way. Coach Millenkoff from River Forest also here tonight. Those coaches have their action tomorrow, which you can watch here on WJOBnetwork.com.
And I'll tell you, Bishop Noll's really laying off on the.
Nice screen set by Lolito. It set Benjamin Jones free for a layup. He missed it. Lawrencic, three. No, that's Crescenzo, excuse me. Three in front of the Andrean bench, in and out. Andrean gets the board. Now they're going to go up. They're playing a little bit out of sort right now.
Yeah, I would have thought they would go out there, especially you had Ross on the wing.
Careller's 10-foot shot, airballed it. Tipped. Last touch by Andrean, out of bounds. And Andrean, their heads are sinking going back down the floor to defense.
Yeah, and you know what? If you're Bishop Noll, I mean, yes, you're up 8, and that's great. But Andrean's a very potent offense here. They're a very potent team. So you want to keep it going with your drive, your hustle. And I'll tell you, with just under a minute, we see what they do on the offensive side.
Nice. Let's go Noll chant breaks out after that turnover on Andrean, led by who other than President Paul Mullaney here, sitting at the lower level. 40 seconds on the clock.
Everything still seems like it's running through Grant.
Reardon bounced pass in the lane. Ross came back and took away from Grant. Andrean with numbers 4-on-2. Going to the basket, blocked from behind. Flesher was blocked from Morgan Grant, and now forcing a shot was Reardon. And we've got a tie-up on the floor on the rebound on the missed shot by Reardon, and his possession arrow, Andrean.
And I'll tell you, after that play, when Flesher thought he had a clear bucket, he put his head down and just couldn't believe that he missed it or it got blocked. Let's see it here.
Here's the Bricklayers Local 4 replay. Went up soft with it and blocked from behind by Grant. Only had one hand on the ball when he's put it up.
Got to go strong and have a little bit better spacing possibly. Maybe Ross should have just gone with it himself. Let's see what they do. Now Carruthers, who was going to get the rest of the quarter off, has now been checked back into the game. And I got to think that he or Ross, again, will go ahead and take that shot.
Carruthers calls for a screen from Ross. 6 seconds on the clock. Carruthers crossover dribble. Kicks it near side to us. 3 on the way from Benjamin Jones. High rim off. And it's going to drop to the floor. Time expires here in the first half. Bishop Noll has an 8-point lead, but the way Andrean running now back to the locker room, it feels like a lot higher of a mountain for the 59ers, Dan.
Absolutely, and I was thinking that Carruthers or Ross, but I'll tell you, no one else is picking up the slack on Andrean's side. They need to have some other option. Right now, those are open threes. They just can't hit them.
Tonight's game is sponsored by the Diocese of Gary. They have 20 schools in the area, 17 grade schools and 3 high schools. If you're watching the Bishop Noll Andrean game from the region, there's a wonderful Diocese of Gary school near you. Visit the Diocese's newly improved schools page at dcgary.org. Click schools for more information about any of our schools. We'll take a break here at the end of the first half. It is Bishop Noll 27, Andrean 19. We'll come back with the Smith-Herzog Attorneys at Law halftime show. Basketball powered by NIPSCO on WJOB.
Nobody wants to hire a lawyer, but when you need one, you want honesty, integrity, and lawyers that are available. Smith-Herzog is a local, results-driven firm for all your legal needs. Comprehensive legal services, all close to home here in Northwest Indiana. Smith-Herzog, finding fairness in unfair situations. Free initial consultation. Give us a call at 219-933-7600. That's 219-933-7600 or online at smithherzog.com. Smith, SERSIC.com.
Again, everybody, I'm Matt Maloney, a realtor with Coldwell Banker Residential Real Estate. The region is a beautiful place to live, and I've soared to new heights to develop a proven marketing strategy for selling homes. Call me today at 219-301-0477 or visit my website, mattmaloneyrealtor.com. Whether you're buying or selling, come fly with me today. Remember, it's not baloney. I'm Matt Maloney.
About to start a business, buy or sell a business, buy, sell, or develop commercial or residential real estate, consider speaking with Scott Yaney. Log on to YAHNELawPC.com or call Scott at 219-513-9892. Yaney Law is conveniently located in Munster and Valparaiso. Yaney Law, helping businesses get business done.
Have you heard of Float 60? Float tanks, also known as sensory deprivation tanks, are personal pools with 1,000 pounds of dissolved Epsom salts in 200 gallons of water, perfectly warm to the temperature of your skin. Great for relieving the sore muscles, aches and pains, and overall just helping you relax in a zero-gravity experience. Float 60 also has cryotherapy, a favorite among professional athletes and anyone with acute or chronic inflammation. Reserve online, float60.com, or call 844-FLOAT60.
Rush Radiosurgery deploys revolutionary technology in the fight against prostate cancer in just 5 outpatient treatments. With radiosurgery treatment for prostate cancer, there is no pain, no surgery, and you can go back to your normal activities right after treatments. Prostate cancer does not fight fair, and neither should you. For more information, contact Rush Radiosurgery at 312-942-4600 or visit us at rushradiosurgery.com.
No case is typical. Results will vary by patient, and there's no guarantee other patients will experience these results.
Coming back here to Lake Station Edison High School, Tuesday night, February 26th of 2019. High school boys basketball powered by NIPSCO. It's time for the Smith-Sursick Attorneys at Law halftime show. And right now it's 27-19. Bishop Noll, they're out for revenge on that sectional loss last year. That was a blowout, 75-52. And they're also out to get the revenge on the regular season loss on their home floor. They are playing motivated basketball here, Dan.
After the first quarter, we both saw Andrean and Noll changing baskets. They were down 4 points the most Andrean was, but that was because Carruthers kept them into the ball game. There was not really much help until the second quarter where they got Ross involved a little bit, but besides Ross's, I have unofficially at 6 and Carruthers at 9, you have a bucket by Jones, and you have a bucket by Lolito. Lolito on the defensive side has become a liability, at least the way we look at it, and no other person has scored for Andre, and no one can hit the open shot. So if you're Bishop Noll, as they've done, they've slacked back on the defense on Ross, allowed him not to get the ball or tried to eliminate him to get the ball down low, and Carruthers is driving. So if you have two people, whereas Bishop Noll, you have Morgan Grant who stepped up. You have Brandon Scott, and then you got Hunter Lorencic that hit a couple. You had Reardon that came and drove to the ball. So you've got a multifaceted, and it looks like Andrean's flat on the defense. Certainly that'll be adjustment, I think, during the halftime.
Looking at the scoring for the first half, we have Brandon Scott for 7 points. If you tuned in just now and you hear Brandon Scott had 7 points at the half, you think Bishop Noll is losing.
Yep.
And maybe by double figures, because he's been a guy that gets out of the gates right away, buries some three-pointers, hits a couple shots, goes to the free throw stripe, and makes them. He had a couple moments of not really being active. He missed a couple of jumpers in the lane, but he's played solid defense for the Bishop Noll Warriors.
Solid defense. He's hit one of his 2 3-pointers, but on that second one that he missed, he knew he missed it, went in there, active on the offensive board, got it. And I'll tell you, we talk about it all the time, offensive rebounds and free throws. And on the offensive side, offensive rebound side, Bishop Noll's definitely got the advantage. And Andrean, they may have had 1 or 2 offensive rebounds according to our stats, but it just doesn't seem like the Andrean that I would have expected to come out here against a rivalry in a sectional game with this environment. I've heard reports on social media that they had a watch party and they were watching Hoosiers to get themselves amped up. You don't need to watch Hoosiers to get amped up for your Catholic school rival. I mean, just that doesn't need to happen. So I don't know why, but hopefully, for their sake, they switch it up.
This is the Smith-Sursick Attorneys at Law halftime show. Kevin Smith, Steven Sursick. Check out smithsursick.com. That's Smith, SERSIC.com. I want to say thanks to more of our sponsors of tonight's game. We are in the Certified Electrician broadcast booth. Walls Construction will have the player of the game after this one is over. Streck and Van Til. Bricklayers Local 4, Bridges Scoreboard Restaurant. They are now booking reservations for St. Patrick's Day. We've got the corned beef sandwiches and dinners for March 16th and 17th. Community Healthcare Systems, the Sports Report sponsor. You can hear that weekdays, 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock. We'll be a little bit out of that this week with our staff on full hands on deck for boys basketball sectionals. And, of course, NIPSCO is our premier level presenting sponsor of all of our basketball and winter sports all time long. Here, he's Dan Ripe. I'm Ryan Walsh. We'll take a break. We'll come back with the second half of action. It's Bishop Noll 27, Andrean 19. This has been the Smith Surgic Attorneys at Law halftime show on WJOB AM 1230, FM 104.7, WJOBnetwork.com, Amazon, Apple, and Roku for your smart TVs. Keep it locked here. More basketball to come. 27-19, Bishop Noll at the break.
Workers Local 395 through their contractor employers, the Northwest Indiana Contractors Association, are the workers you see building Northwest Indiana. They are the craftsmen building your schools, hospitals, malls, steel mills, and manufacturing plants. They support local charities, including Tradewinds and Chasing Dreams, and they coach your kids after work and on the weekend. They live, work, and contribute to all of our local communities' economic growth. To find out more about these organizations, visit ironworkers395.com or nwicontractors.org.
There's a lot at stake in the manufacturing process. Rightly so. Your business serves a vital and important part within your industry segment.
From machining and fabrication to assembly and finishing, at Hammond Machine Works, you'll find quality, trust, and performance built in every part we manufacture. I welcome you to take a closer look at Hammond Machine Works and consider us for your next project.
Experience You First banking at People's Bank. It's our pledge to always put your concerns first while providing the products and services you need to bank whenever and however you choose. We offer a range of personal, business, and wealth management products as well as electronic banking services to help you achieve your financial goals. Bank better with People's, one of the top 200 performing community banks in the nation for 13 consecutive years. Visit us at any one of our 16 locations throughout Northwest Indiana or visit us online at ibankpeoples.com. Equal housing lender and member FDIC.
Looking for a career with stability, high wages, a pension, and the best benefits in the industry? Look no further than the Carpenters Union Local 599. We've been building our careers and communities for over 117 years. We believe in training, professionalism, and partnership. Better training, better pay, better benefits. We are the Carpenters Union. Call us at 219-942-0518 or visit ikorcc.com to start building your future.
More basketball to come here from Lake Station Edison. Tuesday night, February 26th of 2019. Ryan Wallace, Henry Pate in the Certified Electrician broadcast booth. Basketball powered by NIPSCO on WJOB. We're on many platforms tonight, AM 1230, FM 104.7, WJOBnetwork.com, and video, as well as Amazon, Apple, and Roku TVs. Opening night for basketball, a sacred day here in the state of Indiana. 102nd, I believe, 112th?
110th?
Something like that for years of the IHSA tournament. There's different accounts for different years, how many of that actually there has been. Brandon Scott gets the ball down the lane, missed the runner into the hands of Kyle Ross of Andrean, and we are underway. Andrean gets the ball for the first time in the second half. 7:40 on the clock as they get it across.
A lot of Andrean fans came up to us at halftime and said, why are they getting the ball down to Ross immediately? I would be surprised if that doesn't happen.
Now Carruthers gets Grant in the air, gets around him, somehow no foul called, and Carruthers has 11 points now for Andrean, who gets the first points of the second half. Now Brandon Scott down the lane again, fouled, and the shot counts.
And that
flexes.
Yeah, I don't like the flex. You got to keep it classy here. The foul's on Burnett. Look, it's too early to be flexing and everything else like that. You just need to put the ball in the bucket and hit your free throw here, because if you miss this free throw, you really haven't accomplished a whole much more. And right now, it just seems, and we mentioned it during the first half, that the defense just seems a step slow for Andrean.
There's that Bricklayers Local 4 replay for you. Gets this one to go in. Soft touch from Brandon Scott at the line, and he has 11 points now. We missed him for a point in the first half, so 11 points now, largely of the night for Bishop Noll. 9 points, 30-21, just under a minute into the third quarter.
On the low post, when Ross is down there, Bishop Noll needs to have the help on that.
Carruthers travels, and he threw it away. That was going to be a breakout. So they don't play advantage like they do in soccer. That was a travel before throwing it away to Reardon, who was going to go off to the races and lay one in.
And we think we have a misprint in the bulletin there. It's Jack Reardon, not John. Thank you for our valid listeners that texted us and called us. Don't want to upset the parents or anybody.
6:40 and under now. They're trying to go to Morgan Grant on the right block. He bobbled the pass. He tried saying it was off of a 59er, not the case.
And Grant had Lolito posted up. They thought they found something there to take advantage of. And now Carruthers is going to bring the ball up.
Ross, again, out on the perimeter. When he was down low, Noll really didn't have an answer.
And they don't. They have DiCrescenzo down there on him right now, which is an extreme mismatch for Bishop Noll.
Carruthers gets around a couple of Warriors, sprinkles it in. Carruthers keeping Andrean afloat tonight. 13 of their 23 points, 30-23. Bishop Noll, Reardon, 3. Rattles in and out like a jack in the box right there.
Not soft rims.
Now Ross is going to try 3. Gets it to go. Points to the sky. And now it's just a 4-point game. That's a Strachan Van Til 3-pointer. Ross has 9 points.
I don't understand all these end zone celebration stuff. Just put the basket in.
Reardon's going to drive baseline left side. Stepped out of bounds. Turnover on Bishop Noll. And Coach Bawamini just puts his head down. Hands are crossed, arms are crossed. Reardon will go to the bench, and back in comes Troy Cree wearing 3 for Bishop Noll tonight.
A little bit of a program difficulty there.
5-0 run for Andrean. Now they go to Ross, gets away, two-handed layup. 11 points now for Kyle Ross, and it's 30-28, Bishop Noll.
And as I said at halftime, Andrean got an explosive offense. If they can start hitting some of these shots and take advantage of some of these mismatches, and so far they've done that.
In just over a minute, the lead went from 9-2. Grant gets it out on top, almost gives it away. Good save by Lawrencic. Lawrencic is getting pulled by the back of his jersey.
Sort of surprised there was no foul or no call by Samano over there. He had a better angle than we did.
Lawrencic, nice dribble in, gets by a couple of defenders. And now we've got a moving screen called on Lawrencic.
And a stark contrast to what we saw refereeing-wise in the beginning of this half. As it was last, they were letting them play a little bit, tighten up a touch.
Now Andrean could tie or take the lead here with a bucket, depending on where they shoot it from. They're going down to the right block. Ross draped up. He's got 3 guys on there, blocked by Morgan Grant. Came right back to Ross, should have let that one go. And it's going to be off of Ross and Andrean.
And Bishop Noll really had a chance there at the beginning of the third quarter to really stick it to Andrean and put him down even more. They weren't really excited going into halftime. Now Andrean back in the ballgame.
Opening night of boys basketball across the state of Indiana. Morgan Grant bounce pass through the lane to Brandon Scott. There you will say it's a tie-up in the lane, and it's possession arrow back to Andrean.
It was a good thought for Bishop Noll into Grant. Bounce pass into Ross.
He found it through 3 players from Andrean. Now Carruthers will drive down the lane, gets Scott in the air. Scott went too far, and now we have a tie up here, 30-all with 4:06 to go. We'll keep it right here on the floor.
And we all have to thank some of our great sponsors allowing us to do this tonight. All across the region, NIPSCO Community Healthcare System. For prevention and treatment of sports injuries and improving performance, the professionals at Community Healthcare Systems Concussion Clinic and Sports Medicine Program can get you back in the game. Bridges Scoreboard Restaurant, Bricklayers Local 4, Strachan Van Til, Walsh Construction, Certified Electrician, Yaney Law, Smith Sursick Attorneys at Law, Carpenters Local 599, CSK Architects, Float 60 Northwest Indiana, Hama Machine Works, Ironworkers Local 395, Laborers Local 41, Matt Maloney Realtor, Napleton River Oaks Honda, People's Bank, Purdue Northwest, and Rush Radio Surgery, Chicago.
Right to left, Bishop Noll at the ball, needing to stop the run from Andrean. All of a sudden, soaring with confidence, the 59ers. And here's Carruthers, takes away from Brandon Scott. Carruthers is going to try going all the way. A little bump in the back. No foul call. Lays it in, and Andrean is on an 11-0 run. 17 points for Carruthers, making his case for the Walsh Construction Player of the Game if Andrean will get the win.
I can't imagine that was the play that Coach Bellamini drew up.
Brandon Scott against Carruthers, gets right by him. Missed a shot. Blocking foul will be called here on Matthew Lolito.
Matthew Lolito, he had a good thought. He just didn't get there in time before Brandon got up in the air. And now to sort of stem the tide here, Brandon Scott needs to hit something here. Otherwise, you're giving more momentum to, it seems like a little bit more of a pro-Andrean crowd here.
I would agree with you on that. 2 free throws for Brandon Scott. First one rips through the cords. 12 points now for Brandon Scott. Lolito will exit the game. He has 3 fouls for Andrean. Back in comes number 5, Eric Goods. One more at the charity stripe, left side for Brandon Scott. Front rim, no. Rebounded here by Andrean. It's Flesher, and good deflection here in front of the Andrean bench by Antonio De Crescenzo, because if that pass gets to Carruthers, he's going baseline and in.
Brandon Scott almost got an offensive rebound off his missed free throw, which should never happen. Andrean needs to box out a little bit, make sure that doesn't happen again.
Andrean by 1. Carruthers kicks it across far side to Jones. Jones was out of control. Goes to Ross. Step back 3. Long. Fletcher tries saving it. Taken away by Brandon Scott. Up the floor to Morgan Grant. Morgan Grant gets by the defender somehow, and it goes in.
Now that was some contortionism there. I mean, he was just jackknifed up in the air.
He must do yoga.
Well,
that was something.
I'd be in bed for a couple days if I tried that.
Bishop back up by a point. Carruthers tried answering for Andrean. It's 33-32. Under 3 to go in the third quarter. Brandon Scott, he thought about that pull-up 3. Will go down the lane. Blocked on the backboard by Kyle Ross. Scott's not back here on the play. 5-on-4. Somebody's open for Noll. Far side 3. Off the mark from Benjamin Jones. Put back on the offensive glass here by Nicholas Flesher. His first basket of the night for Andrean puts him up 34-33, 2:22 on the clock.
Flesher got the offensive rebound, got down deep, faked one time, and up for the basket. Could have been a foul.
For just joining us here from Lake Station, Andrean had an 11-0 run to get him back in the game and take the lead, but Brandon Scott right in front of the cheerleaders. He winks at a cheerleader, hits the 3. 36-34, a Strecken Van Til three-pointer by Brandon Scott of Bishop Noll.
Brandon Scott with 15 so far, always good for at least 20-some.
Andrean fans mad that they didn't go to Ross on the floor. He had Brandon Scott guarding him for the time being.
I'll tell you what, anytime you don't go to Ross, I'd be upset quite as there's no one on Bishop Noll can match up with him. Maybe Morgan Grant, maybe Brandon Scott, but no one else.
Morgan Grant limping to the bench here for Bishop Noll. That's not good for the Warriors.
Probably hurt himself on that jackknife layup.
So Aaron Chance comes into the game, and Aaron Chance is with Kyle Ross, and they're slapping hands down there.
Yeah, that will be cut. That will be stopped quickly with this veteran officiating crew. That won't happen.
Now Brandon Scott will have to guard Kyle Ross. Carruthers bumped by Chance here out on the perimeter. Second foul of the second half here on Bishop Noll. Both teams have 2 fouls. 1:29 on the clock in the third quarter.
Chance is just having a little bit of tough time adapting. Either it's just gotten too quick for him, but he's had some difficulties guarding out there. It just seems like he's a little bit loose.
Carruthers calls the play and drained down by a deuce. Carruthers on the night, 17 points, keeping them in the game. Now they go to Ross. Triple team, 3 shorter players. Missed the shot, gets it back. Goes up strong, no. Tipped it around, rebounded by De Crescenzo of Bishop Noll in traffic. Goes to Aaron Chance, down the lane, way off the glass. Missed it, chipped out to Brandon Scott, who got the board. And now Cree will put up a shot in the lane. He is fouled, and we are going at a NASCAR pace all of a sudden again.
Chance was going at that backboard. They called the travel. They wiped off the foul. The referees got together and said there was a travel before the foul. Coach Bellamini is looking up at the sky and counting ceiling tiles at this point.
That's a tough call. It's a tough call to make.
I'll tell you what, they had a mismatch down here with Ross on Lorencic. He's given up at least a foot plus.
Goods on the far side of the floor, goes to Ross, left low block against Aaron Chance, backing him down. Not sure how now a hook was called on Ross, and now Carruthers gets an offensive board, fouled by Brandon Scott, and it's going to be 2 free throws for John Carruthers of Andrean.
And if you're Bishop Noll, your process is you're trying to double team Ross on the low post. The double team just came too late. I'm with you on the potential of the hook, but if that's what they're going to allow him to do, he still needs to double team him up so he doesn't get enough momentum.
Right side free throw line, John Carruthers buries the first free throw. Sub for Andrean and Bishop Noll. Back into the game for Andrean comes 22, Deshaun Burnett. Out goes number 5, Eric Goods. And for Bishop Noll, out of the game goes 21, Aaron Chance. Back in comes number 10, Morgan Grant.
And I think Coach Bellometti would have loved to have him sit for the remaining 34-3, but they've been able to get down low and deep and be able to score against them, and he's their answer.
19 points for Carruthers, hits them both, and it's 36 all. Bishop Noll with the ball, half-court set, and Brandon Scott just travels right in front of a referee at middle of the floor, crossing the timeline.
We were seeing some of the mental mistakes by Andrean early on. Now we're starting to see Bishop Noll must have got inflicted by it. And you know, when you're driving, you're walking the ball up at 26 seconds, you just don't stop over half court. You just created a new defender at the half court line and not only the sideline. So now Andrean with a chance to break the tie.
Carruthers calls the play in the middle of the Lake Station logo in the circle. 15 seconds and under now. Holding for the last shot, Andrean trying to get the lead back in their favor. They're trailing by as many as 9 in the third quarter. Fadeaway jumper from Flesher. Rattles down. Good looking shot right there. 38-36. Andrean at the end of 3. Do not go anywhere. We've got one for you coming up in a moment. The fourth quarter. Andrean 38, Bishop Noll 36. Basketball by NIPSCO on WJLB.
Community Healthcare System is Northwest Indiana's largest physician and health provider network, offering excellence in patient care and service at 3 hospitals: Community Hospital in Munster, St. Catherine Hospital in East Chicago, and St. Mary Medical Center in Hobart, along with more than 20 outpatient care and surgery centers in Lake and Porter counties. At Community Healthcare System, extraordinary people deliver extraordinary care. Find a physician or care center near you at comhs.org.
Players and Allied Crafts Workers Local 4, Indiana, Kentucky, has been building careers and communities here in Indiana and throughout the state of Kentucky for more than 125 years. Whether it's installing block, brick, stone, ceramic tile, terrazzo, and refractories, or restoring the buildings we built 50 or 100 years ago, BAC Local 4 and our signatory contractor partners are the best hands in the business. For more information, contact our local chapter office in Maryville at 219-769-3655. Or visit us at baclocal4.org.
Bishop Noll will get the ball to start the fourth quarter down by 2 points, 38-36. They led by 8 at the half, and now they're down by 2, outscored by 10.
And let's see how Bishop Noll responds. Andrean with that late bucket in the third quarter to end it.
He is Dan Replay. I'm Ryan Wallace. Thanks for joining us here on the voice and face of the region, WJLB, and a throwaway by Troy Cree and takeaway by Andrean.
And that's not how you need to start it.
Kyle Ross gets open, misses a layup, had it given right to his platter, and he couldn't finish. Now Brandon Scott goes down the lane, bumped, no foul, doesn't matter. He scores it, ties it up. That's a change of 4 points right there.
That's a big change, and I think Kyle Ross couldn't believe that it didn't go down. He had an open shot. Could have definitely increased the momentum here that Andrean, now it's all tied up.
Had 6 points in the third quarter, Ross did. Had 5 all of the first half. 45 seconds into the fourth quarter, 38 all. Carruthers gets by Cree, goes to the basket. He is fouled from behind. Bishop Noll has got to keep a better eye on John Carruthers. 19 points on the night so far.
I mean, we see it from here, and I've certainly got to think that the Bishop Noll bench sees it. Carruthers is your person. He's going to drive. He doesn't have an outside shot, hasn't taken an outside shot. He drives to the basket. So be in the triple threat position that Carruthers does. Get down on your, get down in the defensive position. Stop him from driving. It's not that difficult.
20 points now for John Carruthers. The Diocese of Gary has 20 schools, 17 grade schools, and 3 high schools. Visit the newly renovated Diocese schools page at dcgary.org and click schools for more information about any of our schools. Bishop Donald Hine is a huge supporter of Catholic education in the diocese.
And I don't have Carruthers missing a free throw, so smart by him driving the lane. Bishop Noll needs to stop it.
A minute into the fourth quarter and drained by 2, 40-38. Winner plays Lake Station on Friday night, the first semifinal game. Loser, the season is over. Acree is going to drive down the lane, stops, goes back out to John Reardon, 3 on the way, off the front left rim. It came right to Acree, and it went through his hands and into the hands of Kyle Ross. Here goes Carruthers, bounce pass down the lane to Lolito. Lolito gets every part of the rim, and it goes. And it's now Andrean by 4, their largest lead of the night. John Reardon, another 3, this time off the mark, rebounded by Kyle Ross.
And it seems like Bishop Noll is now settling for the 3 as opposed to in the first 2 quarters they were driving. Now they're sitting back. Can't do that. Andrean will extend this lead on you quickly.
Far side, Flesher down the lane. He lost it, but good save by Deshaun Burnett. 6 minutes to go in the fourth. Andrean spacing down the lane. Shot was off the back iron from Burnett. Rebounded by Bishop Noll. And dangerous play in the middle of the floor.
Just lazy. Bishop Noll is what Andrean was in the first half. Andrean was lazy, not getting offensive rebounds, weren't excited. Bishop Noll's doing it right now. Settling for the outside shot. They need to take it to the bucket.
Bishop Noll being outscored by 14 here so far in the second half. Down by 4 points. Lorenzo gets it back to Brandon Scott. Goes far side to Aaron Chance. Now to DeCrescenzo. Clock rolling.
A lot slower place for Bishop Noll. Sorry about that, Ryan.
No, you're all right. 5:30 and under now. Brandon Scott being guarded by Carruthers.
There's no movement on Noll. They're all sitting watching.
Got 3 guys standing. Now Scott, he gets knocked in the jaw. Takeaway. Here goes Andrean. Ross down the lane. Shot up, missed the shot. And it's going to be 2 free throws for Kyle Ross.
And once again, no one took the ball. They want to go for the steal. Well, I'll tell you what, good luck.
Kyle Ross at the free throw line, right side for Andrean. Rattles around and gets that one to drop. 12 points on the night for Kyle Ross.
And I'll tell you what, if you have Kyle Ross at only 12 points and you're winning, you'll take that for Andrean.
Makes both free throws, and Andrean has their largest lead of the night. Scott will roll the ball in up the floor to Morgan Grant, and Morgan Grant had a big first half. Just 2 points in the second half for Bishop Noll. Down by 6, 44-38. Grant almost lost it. Good recovery.
Bishop Noll very tentative now with all their passes.
Need a basket from Brandon Scott.
You need something.
A lot of time ticking off. Nobody moving for Brandon Scott.
They're all watching.
Now foul here on the floor on Andrean. Just a 3rd foul of the half on Andrean. 4:46 on the clock in the fourth quarter.
I mean, if you're watching this at home, everyone's watching the ball. Well, it's easy as a defender to sit there and you can watch your man who's not moving. He's putting no stress on that person. You need to move. They were moving very well in the first.
Inbound play goes to Brandon Scott, far side of the floor. Throws it back out, throws it away. Taken away by Andrean. 2-on-1. Bounce pass to Flesher. And timeout will be taken by Bishop Noll. Flesher got 6 points. And Andrean by 8. Full timeout. Back in a minute. 4:35 to go on WJLB, powered by NIPSCO.
We pray and serve.
We teach and learn.
We love and give as disciples of Jesus Christ.
The goal of education in the Catholic Diocese of Gary is to help us understand and explore our faith.
We are provided with the foundation to grow, ask questions, and learn in a supportive environment.
Our student-focused faculty and staff provides a rigorous curriculum that challenges us to be great.
We are surrounded by people who care, in and out of the classroom.
It starts with us.
We are the future.
To learn more about Catholic education in our diocese, visit dcgary.org.
Scoreboard Restaurant is a family-friendly restaurant located at 121 North Griffith Boulevard in Griffith. Stop in for our award-winning chicken wings, pizza, Italian beef sandwiches, lake perch, hamburgers, and more. Entertaining a big group? We will quickly accommodate large reservations without much notice. Bridges Scoreboard has 28 big-screen TVs, so you won't miss any of the games. Enjoy corned beef dinners and sandwiches to celebrate St. Patrick's Day on March 16th and 17th, while Pipes of Orac entertain from 5 to 6 p.m. For more information, call Jeff or Scott Bridges at 219-924-2206.
Broadcast booth, Ryan Walsh and Dan Ripe. Bishop Noll troubling time right now, down by 8 points after leading by as many as 9 in the third quarter. They've gone quite cold here in almost another giveaway. They look like they've seen a ghost.
Well, yeah, and if you see from our vantage point, we saw both huddles. Andrean, they're all fired up. Coach Bellometti trying to calm them down, I guess, with a low-key approach. But I'll tell you, they need to get some fire into them. Otherwise, it's 4 minutes. I get it. There's some time. But the way they've been playing here the last – and here we go again. They can't even inbound the ball on the side. Bishop Noll.
30-second timeout taken by Bishop Noll. We'll keep it here. Let's thank some of our sponsors.
Absolutely want to thank our presenting sponsor, NIPSCO Community Healthcare Systems, who sponsors the Sports Report, Bridges Scoreboard Restaurant, Bricklayers Local 4, Strachan Van Til, Walsh Construction, Certified Electrician, Yaney Law and Scott Yaney, Smith Sursick Attorney at Law, Carpenters Local 599, CSK Architects, Float 60 Northwest Indiana, Hammond Machine Works, Iron Workers Local 395, Laborers Local 41, Matt Maloney Realtor, Napleton River Oaks Honda, People's Bank, Purdue Northwest, and Rush Radio Surgery Chicago.
And of course, the Diocese of Gary and Bishop Donald Hying are sponsors of tonight's broadcast, and we thank them for that and everybody watching from the Diocese. Here's a nice play from Grant to Scott. Here's a ball out of bounds, last touch by Andrean.
It's the difference in two halves. Could have gotten a call of foul on Carruthers on Brandon Scott.
Inbound play goes to Grant. Time is ticking on the Bishop Noll season. Reardon drives baseline left, goes back to Morgan Grant.
Travel.
And they call a foul this time around, and it'll be 2 free throws for Morgan Grant. Again, Bishop Noll was rolling when they had Morgan Grant involved on offense, and they stalled without him.
Right, everything in the first half was going through Morgan Grant on offense, and you pointed that out early, and now it seems like nothing's going through Morgan Grant, and everyone's standing.
Free throw line left, big free throws here for Morgan Grant and Bishop Noll with the clock stopped. First one was a rainbow shot that goes in, 13 points for Morgan Grant. He will get one more opportunity at the free throw line left side. Out of the game goes Matthew Lolito for Andrean. Back in comes 11, Benjamin Jones.
Just because you win the first half doesn't mean you win the ball game.
Grant short on the second one, so Bishop Noll down by 7, 46-39, almost halfway through the fourth quarter.
And I'd imagine Andrean's going to take some time off the clock. You got 7-point lead.
Scott almost steals it. Now he does steal it. He's going to go all the way. He's bumped from behind.
And one.
And that is a they're going to call it on the floor.
Hey. Let's see. We'll have to check out that replay. Got the steal there.
Took it away from Burnett. Looks like he's breaking away for the layup. Bumped. He only took one more step after the shove in the back. So still 46-39 instead of a chance at an old-fashioned three-point play. Now with Cree, he misses the shot. Grant puts it back up, and now they're going to call Ross for a foul. And it'll be 2 more free throws for Morgan Grant with 3:44 to go and Noll down by 7.
And like I said, there's plenty of time, but there's not much time. You got to take advantage of your opportunities. And if you're Bishop Noll, you like this opportunity shooting free throws with the clock stopped.
We're going to get a timeout taken by Coach Stangl of Andrean. 46-39, back in 30 seconds. 3:44 on the clock here on WJOB.
Purdue Northwest is the pride of Northwest Indiana, with nationally recognized programs in engineering, business, nursing, technology, communications, and many more. Purdue Northwest students and alumni have been contributing to the vitality of our communities for more than 70 years. Visit our campuses in Hammond and Westville, as well as the beautiful Gabus Arboretum at Purdue Northwest in Porter County. Come explore your roar at Purdue Northwest. Learn more at pnw.edu. That's pnw.edu.
Back here in the Certified Electrician broadcast booth, Ryan Wallace, Dan Repe with you from Lake Station, Edison. Timeout on the floor taken by Andrean, by Coach Stengel. It's brought to you by Yaney Law. It's attorney Scott Yaney, YaneyLawPC.com. It'll be 2 free throws for Morgan Grant out of the break for Bishop Noll. Down by 7 points. They led by as many as 9. They were leading 30-29 or 30-21. After that, it's been all Andrean since.
Well, we said it that they were going to make adjustments. Andrean was going to make adjustments. They did. Bishop Noll came out flat-footed. They cost them with those quick 5 points, cut the lead down, and then a couple of lazy passes and stagnant offense. That's going to do it for you. And right now you have a chance here with Morgan Grant on the line with shooting 2, cut the lead down. Currently 7, could be 5.
Free throw line left side. Morgan Grant buries the first one. Has one more at the line. Has 14 points on the night for Bishop Noll. It's 46-40 in favor of Andrean. Basketball powered by NIPSCO. Winner of this game will get Lake Station on Friday evening. The first half of that doubleheader on Friday.
He has one of the higher arcing free throw shots. Now Bishop Noll picking up full court.
Oh, that could have been 5. 46-41. Now a breakout. Flesher to the basket. Missed the shot, but Carruthers gets the offensive board. Put back, no, but he was fouled. A couple of Warriors, that was an easy one for them to rebound, but they didn't get it.
They jumped a little bit early, and I'm going to tell you, if I'm Bishop Noll, you got to keep your eye on Carruthers. You got to find out where that guy is at all times.
21 points on the night. He brought him back almost single-handedly.
And he hasn't missed a free throw tonight, so if you think by fouling him it's going to do any good, we'll see what happens.
Pure on that first one makes it 47-41. I mean, that's what senior players do. He's been playing varsity for a long time for this Andrean team.
Yeah, for at least 3 years. I think I had him when he was the center for Andrean.
48-41 as he goes 2 of 2 at the line for Andrean. Warriors down by 7. Scott, a lot of contact through the lane, makes the shot off the window and in. He has 16 points. Full court pressure by Bishop Noll, broken down easily by Andrean.
See if you can get Andrean either into a turnover or a rush shot.
Here's Carruthers, reverse layup. He's called for a travel.
Sorry about that, Larry, but I almost called it for Larry if he didn't blow that whistle.
48-43, big opportunity now for Bishop Noll with points to make it a one-possession game. 3:10 on the clock. This one is not over yet.
No, and if you're Bishop Noll, you need to hit your shot or work for your shot that you want. I'd imagine Brandon Scott's going to try for a 3 if he's open.
Acree and Scott playing pitch and catch here out on the perimeter. Scott's going to try a 3. Missed the shot. Got his own board. Second chance. No. Fight for it. Scott lost it out of bounds.
He knew right away that he missed it. He went in for the offensive rebound. Could have been called a tie-up. Instead, ball gets knocked out. Andrean's ball, and Bishop Noll picking up full court. See if this pressure does something here to Andrean.
Both teams have 6 fouls, so defensive fouls here on out. Ross turn around, just throws it up and makes it.
It's there all day for him if he wanted it.
10 points in the second half for Andrean. 2:30 and under now. Andrean back up by 7. Acree standing at the center court. Now they're going to try to find Lawrencic. Now to Morgan Grant. Double fake.
Double dribble. Oh!
Blocking foul. It's going to be a 1-and-1.
I thought it was a double dribble. It looked like he put it down. Maybe he got it tipped. Certainly they got a better vantage point than I do. And Coach Stengel's looking for a explanation. Gets it. Seems like he was satisfied. Play on. 1-and-1 for Morgan Grant. Hate to say these are critical, but got to take advantage of these situations.
1-and-1. Morgan Grant at the line. Great form again from Morgan Grant. He has one more on the clock. He stopped at 2:17 to go.
Referee's resetting here. He threw the ball back to Morgan Grant a little bit early before Reardon was set on the box.
So Morgan Grant has one more chance. Trying to make it a 5-point game. Off the front iron, rebounded down by Andrean's Benjamin Jones.
And not a lot of offensive rebounds for Bishop Noll compared to the first half.
Coach Stengel telling the boys to pull back out and make Bishop Noll chase.
And I'll tell you, if I'm Bishop Noll and I have a chance to foul someone, I'm not fouling Carruthers.
Scott pokes it away. Carruthers gives a
pushed
shove
off.
to Reardon. Now Carruthers gets away from two guys. Goes down the lane, bounces it to Ross. Ross misses a layup, and now we're under 2 to go. Morgan Grant, full head of steam, gets around a defender off of a 59er with 1:42 to go. Bishop Noll down by 6. They got lucky there.
I think the referee was blocked out to see that shove. We saw it clearly on this side of the gym. And maybe he got the benefit of the doubt as a senior.
They go inbound to Morgan Grant, now to John Reardon out at right side. Now open 3 from Lawrence. This would be big, and he hits it! 3-point game, timeout, Bishop Noll. 3-pointer by Strecken Van Til. It's the full timeout, 1:35 to go, 50-47 Andrean. Timeout brought to you by Yaney Law.
Construction is one of the largest, most respected general contracting, construction management, and design build firms. The Walsh Group has an unwavering dedication to delivering the highest quality product to our customers and giving back to our neighbors and surrounding communities. Recognized as a top 15 contractor nationally, we come to work every day to be the builder of choice for customers, the employer of choice for our people, and to see the highest standards of ethics, quality, and safety. For more information, call 219-611-2450 or visit walshgroup.com.
On Vapo men's basketball at their final home game at the Athletics Recreation Center this season by attending their game on Saturday, March 2nd against Evansville at 1 p.m. For ticket information, call the box office at 219-464-5233 or visit vapoathletics.com. Vapo, proud to be the region's Division I team.
Back in Lake Station, 1:35 on the clock. Bishop Noll not going down after getting down here by 8.
Hunter Lorencic with a big 3 for Noll. Needed that. Now Bishop Noll needs to just do something on the defensive side, put some pressure on, not an easy basket.
He is Dan replay on Ryan Walls. Carruthers being guarded by Lorencic, gets right by him, blows by him here, and now will make Bishop Noll chase. Bishop Noll led by as many as 9 in the third quarter and got down by 8 to start the fourth quarter.
And that's fine if you're Bishop Noll. I'd be happy with that.
And thrown away, but it went off the leg of a Warrior. That was luck for Nicholas Flesher.
Pass. That was not advised with just over a minute left in the
fourth.
fourth.
And Coach Stengel's going to take a timeout here in a moment. It looks like he was signaling to the near sideline referee. Now he walked away. Looked like he was going to call for a full timeout. Now Flesher, he was trapped again. Now they go near side to Benjamin Jones.
Andrean's not going to score unless it's a drive right up the middle.
They go for the basket, missed the shot, tipped, rebounded by Brandon Scott. Scott goes to a three on the way.
Short.
Airballed it. And we've got a foul called on John Reardon.
What? My man Larry. We need to go to have a conversation. That was what we thought would be a tie-up. Don't have the advantage of replay at this point, but I guess not a bad foul if you're going to get a foul on who we got at the free throw line.
Deshaun Burnett, no points on the night.
No points. Hasn't shot a free throw, certainly.
Reardon will exit here briefly. That was his first foul. Left-handed free throw shooter, free throw line right, goes in for Burnett, makes it a 2-possession game, 51-47.
Big shot by Burnett. Makes it 2-possession.
Burnett, second one, goes. How about that? Out of the game goes Benjamin Jones for Andrean. Back in comes number 5, Eric Goods. 56.1 to go. Bishop Noll back down by 5. Brandon Scott goes down the lane. A lot of contact. Foul will be called here on the floor. It's a 1-and-1.
I don't know. I mean, if you're Andrean, I don't know why you're fouling. They were just flat-footed on defense. Bishop Noll happy to get them there, but now you got to convert if you're Brandon Scott here.
Brandon Scott at the line, left side, with 51 seconds exact, and Noll down by 5.
So 2 shots we got, or 1 and 1?
1 and 1.
And why aren't we having another Noll person on the line?
Confident in Brandon Scott, I guess.
Well, that's great, but if you don't get an offensive rebound, you go home early.
Now they send John Reardon to the line. Excuse me, not Matt Reardon.
You can call him. Matt's a little bit heavier.
Scott missing the second one. Ball is loose. Rebounded by Andrean, and now Brandon Scott bumps into Benjamin Jones, and they call it a foul with 49.5 to go. It's been a bugaboo of the season. Bishop Noll missing some free throws here in the second half, Dan.
And we've seen that, but we just need to, we need to hope that they've done better, and they have done better in the first half. And now you've got Jones now with Andrean, who's got 2 points. This is his first, according to my numbers, this is his first free throw attempts. Maybe it's something you like to see if you're Noll.
Here's the line right side, 1 and 1 off the back rim. Rebounded by Morgan Grant. It's a 4-point game. Here goes Bishop Noll. Brandon Scott is going to go down the lane. A lot of contact. He's fouled. Count the bucket. It's a 2-point game with 42.9 to go. And as I said it earlier, back-pedaling defender always called for the foul.
If I had any hair to pull out, I'd say stop the ball. I mean, you got to stop the ball. And, quite honestly, between both of them, I don't know who they got it on. If they got it on Carruthers, they did. I mean, he knows better.
1 free throw for Brandon Scott. Missed his last one at the line.
And once again, Bishop only with 1 person on the line. I understand he made it, but it's just a personal thing of mine.
1-point game, 52-51. Full court pressure from Bishop Noll. Reardon gets beaten by Flesher. Riding Flesher. Flesher travels. Turnover.
No!
Turnover on Andrean.
Oh!
Bishop Noll can win it.
I did not see the travel. But clearly there must have been something.
Timeout.
He's going full. Bishop Noll wants a full timeout. He's not getting it yet.
Coach Stengel going down there talking. Nope, they're not. They didn't look down there. Coach Belwamini had his arms out for the full timeout. They don't look down there, referees. So here comes Brandon Scott. Almost lost it. Goes far side of the floor to a Curry. He almost lost it. 25 seconds. Brandon Scott being guarded by Carruthers. Down the lane. Contact. They're going to call it tie-up.
Oh, no!
Possession Andrean. Possession area.
I'm sorry. I know this is for sportsmanship, but you can't have a tie-up that quickly. You
Timeout on the floor. Here's the replay. Look at it, Dan.
How quick does that become a tie-up? You can't have it that quick. It wasn't. No one lost any control. We're going to go with another replay. I'm sorry.
There was never a ball on the hand on the ball from an Andrean defender.
Wow. I guess referees are human, but I'll tell you what, that's a tough call to make with 22 seconds left in a sectional. I certainly don't envy his position, but I just don't see it. Here's slow-mo. The ball was never stopped. It was never not possessed by the offensive player.
It's a Yaney Law timeout here on the floor. It gives us time to remind you that tonight's basketball is powered by NIPSCO. Also want to say thanks to the Diocese of Gary. 20 schools in Northwest Indiana, 17 grade schools and 3 high schools. The Diocese of Gary grade schools are very well regarded for their outstanding high school preparation. Check out dcgary.org and click schools for more information about any of our schools. Now the Noll coaches are yelling at the...
I think Noll thought it was a foul on the floor, and they didn't realize it was a tie-up ball.
Inbound play goes to Carruthers. Noll, you got to get up there and foul.
No, don't foul Carruthers. Foul someone else, anyone else besides Carruthers.
15 seconds. Carruthers gives the ball away. No one's got to foul somebody. You're down by a point. With 10.9 to go, they finally commit the foul. But yeah, Bishop Noll, as you mentioned, Dan, they thought they were going to the line.
I think that's why there was not as much ruckus coming from the Bishop Noll side, because they thought it was just a foul on the ground. little do they know that it was what we've been talking about, and that's tie-up.
1-1 here, with 10.9 to go. Back at the line, Deshaun Burnett, 2 for 2 on the night at the line. Left-handed shooter, free throw line right for Andrean. Looked good on that shot, and it was good. He's got 3 points all out the line tonight for Andrean. 53-51.
If you're Bishop Noll, you've got to be on the offensive board. You cannot let them have the ball.
Burnett has one more at the line. Gets it. Timeout taken here by Coach Stengel. Full timeout. 54-51 as Deshaun Burnett comes to the line for Andrean. The sophomore guard here down the stretch. 4 free throws he's made in a row. Let's thank some of our sponsors here, Dan.
Absolutely. We need to thank Carpenter's Local 599, CSK Architects, Purdue Northwest, People's Bank, Napleton River Oaks Honda, Matt Maloney Realtor, Laborers Local 41, Ironworkers Local 395, Hammond Machine Works, Float 60 Northwest Indiana, Rush Radio Surgery Chicago, Smith Sursick Attorney at Law, Yaney Law, Scott Yaney, Certified Electrician, Walsh Construction, who is sponsored player of the game, Strachan Van Til, Bricklayers Local 4, Bridges Scoreboard and Restaurant, Community Healthcare System, and our presenting sponsor is NIPSCO.
10.9 to go. Coach Stengel instructing his boys here in what to do in defense. The timeout here taken on the floor, brought to you by Yaney Law. We see it in the college level. Do you foul here? They only give him an opportunity for 2 points.
Well, I'm going to tell you, if it's me, I think you have to, because Brandon Scott has got a quick release, and he can get it off, and he's pretty darn accurate. Now they're going to go full court. So who are you going to do? I think if you're going to foul anyone, you let a Cree get the ball. You don't want Brandon Scott to get the ball if you're Andrean. I still think they're going to foul.
So Lorencic will inbound it for Bishop Noll. Double team on Brandon Scott, because you know, as an Andrean fan and coach and player, they're going to try to find him. Grant gets it to Brandon Scott. Brandon Scott was held. Open three, a Cree. Across the way, blocked out of bounds, swatted by Deshaun Burnett. A Cree had the shot, and Burnett just went sky high for maybe the block of the year that we have seen.
Well, Cree just took entirely too long to set himself up. If we see on the replay, I mean, he took some time to get that set. You can't do that. If anything else, you got a pump fake, but I don't think he knew exactly how much time was left on the clock, if he had to get it up or not. But if you're Bishop Noll, though, it's not a bad scenario. You got the ball side out, you can make a play, and you got Brandon Scott.
Is that the result of him airballing a three earlier on in the quarter, that hesitation, that little bit extra time?
Well, wanted to make sure he got his feet set, make sure he got it there, because his last three-point attempt was about 3 feet short. So he was making sure, and, you know, look, he's young, and he's not that experienced, and what you're going to have is he had an open shot, and that bucket probably looked like, you know, not very big. You know, his eyes are big, and you know, quite on his credit to Burnett for Andrean, he went up. What would have been fun is he hit a ball fake and got a foul, then you have 3 free throws. So you're Bishop Noll, you got plenty of time. It's 4.3, plenty of time to set it up. And I'm going to think that you got to think that as Brandon Scott, we've called it before, with probably about a 25-footer, he's gonna yank one up there.
Krellers is on him. Scott gets it. Goes back out top. Lorencic at the buzzer. 3. Oh! And out! Oh, it's off the mark. And Andrean wins it 54-51 over Bishop Noll.
And here we thought I think everyone thought that was going to Scott, and you had Lorencic had an opportunity. No cleaner look than that. Good shooter, just happens the way it happens.
We'll see that replay here. The Bricklayers Local 4 group, the sponsor of that one. Everybody collapsed on Brandon Scott. He went across the way. Hunter Lorencic a couple feet behind the three-point line. Had a good look. It looked like it was going down, Dan, but it does not. It bounces back out, and Andrean knocks out Bishop Noll the second year in sectionals.
And a much closer game than I think a lot of people projected it to be. And quite honestly, Bishop Noll had them. Bishop Noll had them they were down, hanging their heads. Andrean was, and now, you know, they let him back in the third quarter, and then it was a dogfight. You know, for Coach Bellamini, Oh, look, Coach. Well, we got Lolito there leading the charge. I appreciate him being the cheerleader, but, I think he should work on some more defensive skills than the cheerleading skills.
We'll take a quick timeout. We'll come back and wrap things up here from Lake Station. Again, we'll be back tomorrow night. We've got plenty of basketball from Lake Station this week. 2A boys basketball sectionals. Andrean wins tonight and will play against Lake Station 6 o'clock on Friday evening right here in Lake Station. We'll take a timeout here. We'll come back and wrap things up. Andrean gets the W over Bishop Noll, 54-51. Here, powered by NIPSCO on WJLB.
We pray and serve.
We teach and learn.
We love and give as disciples of Jesus Christ.
The goal of education in the Catholic Diocese of Gary is to help us understand and explore our faith.
We are provided with the foundation to grow, ask questions, and learn in a supportive environment.
Our student-focused faculty and staff provides a rigorous curriculum that challenges us to be great.
We are surrounded by people who care, in and out of the classroom.
It starts with us.
We are the future.
To learn more about Catholic education in our diocese, visit dcgary.org.
Construction is one of the largest, most respected general contracting, construction management, and design build firms. The Walsh Group has an unwavering dedication to delivering the highest quality product to our customers and giving back to our neighbors and surrounding communities. Recognized as a top 15 contractor nationally, we come to work every day to be the builder of choice for customers, the employer of choice for our people, and to see the highest standards of ethics, quality, and safety. For more information, call 219-611-2450 or visit walshgroup.com.
Here courtside with Dan Ripe, I'm Ryan Walsh. Thanks for watching tonight, listening on WJLB, whether it's AM 1230, FM 147 on the radio, and also on video on WJLBnetwork.com and on Amazon, Apple, and Roku for your smart TVs. Disappointment, heartbreak for one side of the Bishop Noll Warriors. Had a 9-point lead in the third quarter. Andrean got hot down the stretch in the third quarter, took an 8-point lead into the fourth quarter. Bishop Noll fought back, got it down to a 1-point lead. Controversial call under a minute to go. Jump ball, possession goes to Andrean. Andrean goes down, hits a couple free throws after Bishop Noll had the foul. And the three at the end of the game was in and out from Hunter Lorincic, and Andrean escapes with the victory, 54-51. We'll summarize it. Tough way to lose for Bishop Noll.
Right.
No other way to describe it.
Yeah, if you're Bishop Noll, it's you're leading by 8 at half. You came out a little bit flat. Andrean came back with 5 quick points, cut the lead again. They found Ross. Carruthers kept on finding the basket. Noll had no answer for Carruthers. Carruthers was just driving. If you force Carruthers to shoot outside, maybe it's a different story. Some key free throws by Burnett and by Flesher. Lolito. For Andrean to go further, I mean, they're going to face a tough Lake Station team. For Andrean to go further, yes, you have Ross, and he has a size advantage, and Carruthers has the experience, but they need someone to pick it up down low to get some offensive rebound and defense. Lolito wasn't doing it clearly, and for Bishop Noll, if you tell me you've got both Morgan Grant with 18, and you had Brandon Scott with 22, life's pretty good for you. Just the last second shot, yeah, there was a couple controversial calls. We're getting the texts and when we were off the air, but you know what? You can't leave it up to that. You were still up 8. Bishop Noll took a little bit of a rest there in the third quarter. It cost them. They had to exert energy to get back in the fourth. And, that's what you end up with is a last second shot. It was an open look. It was in, out, and just happens to happen. He didn't hit it. He hits it, he's a hero, and if not, that's what it is. But at the end of the day, we have to name a player of the game, and that's going to be the Walsh Construction player of the game. It's got to be Carruthers. Carruthers was a constant in the first, the second, held them together in the third and the fourth with driving to the basket, causing pressure on Bishop Noll. And if he didn't make the basket, he got fouled. And otherwise, he put pressure to allow Kyle Ross. Kyle Ross missed a couple bunnies there that I don't understand.
That gave Bishop Noll some chances down the stretch.
Absolutely, it shouldn't have been this close. They shouldn't have made it to that call because, quite honestly, Ross should have put both of them in, and he was struggling with it. So Carruthers is your player of the game. Solid performance both from the point. He drove the basket, he put pressure on Bishop Noll, and he made all of his free throws that I have. So what it is, and if you're Bishop Noll, you hate to see your seniors go out this way. It was a great effort for 2 quarters. and probably the fourth quarter. But the third quarter, you look back at the tape, they just gave Andrean too many opportunities, and they were too much standing around on offense.
So game one here from this sectional number 33 from Lake Station goes to Andrean, 54-51. We'll be back tomorrow night here, Wednesday night, February 27th. River Forest and Bowman Academy in the first game at 6 o'clock, and then the nightcap will be at 7:30, Whiting and Gary Roosevelt. Friday night, game one, Lake Station draws Andrean. Lake Station had the bye. And then the Friday night semifinals, number 2, will be between the winners of Bowman and River Forest and Whiting and Roosevelt. I want to say one last thing here. We got to wrap up thanking our sponsors, Dan. I want you to, before I say that, I want to say thanks to you for an outstanding night here. And looking forward to be back with you tomorrow.
I mean, if this is how we're going to start this sectional, you can't beat it. It was a great game, 51-54. So we certainly need to thank NIPSCO, Community Healthcare Systems, Bridges, Scoreboard Restaurant, Bricklayers Local 4, Streck and Van Til, Walsh Construction, who we just named the player of the game, with Carruthers, Certified Electricians, Yaney Law, Scott Yaney, Smith, Sursig's Attorney at Law, Carpenters Local 599, CSK Architects, Float 60, Northwest Indiana, Hammer Machine Works, Iron Workers Local 395, Laborers Local 41, Matt Maloney Realtor, Napleton River Oaks Honda, People's Bank, Purdue Northwest, and Rush Radio Surgery Chicago, and
the Diocese of Gary.
And the Diocese of Gary, who probably had a second collection to sponsor this game. But I'll tell you what, they got their money's worth with these two fine institutions, and it was a great game, and someone had to lose, and unfortunately, Bishop Noll is going to go home a loser on a Tuesday of sectional week. Andrea moves on to play Lake Station.
I want to say thanks to our video operators here today, the camera director, Jimmy Mullaney, our camera crew, Josh Beaudry and Robert Aguirre. I want to say thanks to them. I want to say thanks to Jim Delo and Tony Panic back in the Streck and Van Til studio tonight, and also all of our crew across a couple different sites. We were at Crown Point this evening, as well as the Hammond Civic Center. So thanks to all of our crew members for giving the region the best that we can in video and on the radio. From our broadcast partner, Dan Ripe, here on Tuesday night, February 26th of 2019, a thriller here on WJOB Radio and in video on WJOBnetwork.com and on Amazon, Apple, and Roku. Andrean wins it 54-51. Ryan Walsh signing out here from Lake Station. Talk to you tomorrow night at 6 o'clock with Bowman Academy and River Forest here from Lake Station. Hope you can come out for a game here at Lake Station. A great site for basketball. And this one goes to Andrean. Good night.